Have you ever outsmarted someone who thought they had all the power? What happened? My landlord thought he was the king of the world. Big mistake. I was 22, broke college student renting this tiny apartment. The landlord, let's call him Mr. Peterson, was this 50-year-old guy who owned like 20 properties around town. He acted like he was doing me a huge favor by letting me live there. This guy was nuts. He'd show up unannounced, walk into my place without knocking, and inspect everything like he was the apartment police. He'd fine me $20 for leaving dishes in the sink overnight. $15 if my car wasn't parked perfectly straight. He once charged me $30 because my welcome mat was crooked. The worst part, my rent was already crazy high for what I was getting. The heater barely worked, the shower had no water pressure, and there were actual holes in the walls that he refused to fix. But every month, Peterson would raise some new fee or fine. When I complained, he'd just smirk and say, "Don't like it, move out." "I've got 10 people waiting for your spot." I was stuck. I couldn't afford to move, and he knew it. Then winter came and my heating bill was insane, like $400 a month insane. I called Peterson and told him something was wrong with the heater. His response, "Heat costs money, deal with it." But here's the thing, I'm an engineering student. I know how heating systems work. I did some investigating and found out the heater was from 1987 and had never been serviced. It was basically a money-eating machine. Even worse, I discovered that Peterson was required by law to provide adequate heating, and the temperature in my apartment was way below the legal minimum, so I started documenting everything. I bought a digital thermometer and took photos of the temperature every day. I researched tenant rights laws. I found out Peterson was breaking like 15 different housing codes. Then I called the city housing inspector. The inspector came out while Peterson was there doing one of his surprise visits. Perfect timing. This guy walked through my apartment and found violations everywhere. The heater was a fire hazard. The electrical wiring was dangerous. The holes in the walls violated safety codes. Even Peterson's habit of entering without 24-hour notice was illegal. Peterson started getting all red-faced, arguing with the inspector, saying he would fix everything next month. That's when I pulled out my phone and showed the inspector my temperature logs. Months of evidence that Peterson knew about the heating problem and refused to fix it. The inspector was not happy. Long story short, Peterson got hit with $12,000 in fines and had 30 days to fix everything or the building would be condemned. But wait, it gets better. I also found out that Peterson had been claiming my apartment as recently renovated to justify the high rent, but nothing had been updated in 20 years. That's fraud. And remember all those bogus fees he'd been charging me. Turns out most of them were illegal too. In my state, landlords can't just make up random fees. I filed complaints with the State Housing Authority and the Consumer Protection Agency. I also joined a Facebook group for Peterson's other tenants, and guess what? He'd been pulling the same scams on everyone. Within 6 months, Peterson was facing lawsuits from 12 different tenants, thousands in fines, and a criminal investigation for housing fraud. The guy who thought he was untouchable because he owned the building ended up selling most of his properties just to pay legal fees. I got 3 months of free rent, a full refund of all those bogus fees, or $2,000, and Peterson personally installed a brand new heating system. The best part was watching him try to act all friendly and apologetic when he realized I wasn't just some dumb college kid he could push around. He went from "I've got 10 people waiting for your spot" to "Please don't leave any more bad reviews online real quick." Never underestimate the power of actually reading the fine print and knowing your rights.